Welcome to Catholic Shrine Basilica YouTube channel. Basilica of Our Lady of Ocotlan, Tlaxcala, Mexico. Introduction. The Sanctuary and Basilica of Ocotlan is a religious architectural complex in Mexico located in the town of Ocotlan, in the municipality of Tlaxcala, located on a hill just 1 kilometer from the city of Tlaxcala, capital of the homonymous state of Tlaxcala. Due to the fact that the town of Ocotlan was an abundant place of leafy ocotes, its name is made up of 2 words in Nahuatl, Ocotl, Ocote and Tlotla, burn, from which Ocotlan results and which means the ocote that it burns. The subject has powerfully called the attention of Ocotlan painters such as Juan de Villalobos, Manuel Caro, de Villa-Tegel, and the muralist Desiderio Hernández Uchiciotzen, who have represented it as a theophany of the Virgin Mary to the Tlaxcalan people. History of Basilica of Our Lady of Ocotlan, Tlaxcala. The earliest mention of the shrine is found in the writing of the Tlaxcalan historian Diego Muñoz Camargo, who makes reference to there being a Franciscan missionary center in Tlaxcala in 1588 or 1589 called Santa María Ocotla. In an earlier book he refers to a nacimiento desta agua, source of this water, where there is a cross in a group of forest trees that evokes great devotion. Juan de Palafox y Mendoza, then Archbishop of Puebla, made a visit to the shrine in 1644, although he does not mention a statue. He wrote in his own account of the visit that he recited the rosary there and praised the religious devotion of the inhabitants of the town. The first mention of the statue occurs in 1689, in the frontispiece of a history of the city of Tlaxcala, published by Don Juan Benaventura Zapata y Mendoza. Diego de Osorio de Escobar, Archbishop of Puebla in 1670, appointed Juan de Escobar as caretaker of the shrine. Juan de Escobar is responsible for constructing the shrine with its present floor plan, with the chancel, transept, and cupola. The second caretaker, Francisco Fernandez, was in charge of the shrine from 1691 to 1716. He installed the retablo dedicated to the Virgin of Guadalupe. The third caretaker, Manuel Loaizaga, was the man responsible for giving the shrine the appearance it has today. He put in the magnificent central retablo with the great silver niche in which the statue stands as well as the pulpit. The pièce de résistance, however, is the camarine, the 8-sided chapel behind the niche that is used as the Virgin's dressing room. It is decorated with Solomonic columns, paintings from the life of the Virgin, portraits of doctors of the Church who defended the Virgin Mary, and at the center, the great round table on which the statue stands as it is being dressed. Just as importantly, Loaizaga put the final, official version of the Ocotlan legend into print, publishing 2 editions of his book Historia de la Milagrosísima Imagen de Nuestra Señora de Ocotlan, SIC, in 1747 and 1750. Testimonials about the apparition. Encounter in the woods with the Virgin Mary, folk story. According to tradition, the inhabitants of the town of Ocotlan tell that in the spring of 1541 a young indigenous man whom they named Juan Diego was climbing the western slope of the San Lorenzo Hill and entered the forest of ocotes that at that time it existed next to a ravine. There a woman came out to meet him who greeted him and asked, "Where are you going?" It is said that the young indigenous man replied that he was going to fetch water for his patients from the plague that at that time invaded the Tlaxcalan indigenous people, damaging them to death. According to the same tradition, that mysterious woman was the Virgin Mary, herself, who took him to meet healing waters in a ravine on the slope of the hill next to a ravine. It is said that the Franciscans went to the place where they found a corpulent ocote burning without being consumed, where later they opened it with an axe to discover the image of the Virgin Mary. This one of hers was taken to the chapel and placed in the place of the holder. It is said that the sacristan lowered her 3 times and that her angels returned her 3 times to the place. The statue of the Virgin Mary. The statue of the Virgin of Ocotlan is the centerpiece of the shrine. It stands 148 centimeters tall and is reportedly made of pine, although this is not certain. It is carved as wearing a long tunic and mantle. The tunic is gold, with red trim. The mantle was blue at one time, but the paint has faded, revealing more gold beneath it. The statue stands erect, looking straight ahead, hands folded in front of the chest. The carved hair is brown and a replica of the image in the Museo de la Memoria shows it to have 7 plaits of hair in back. Normally, the statue is dressed in a cape, of which it owns many, and a large crown that was given to the statue in 1975. It also has pierced ears, earrings, and many finger rings in addition to the scepter it carries. A silver crescent moon with a man in the moon face looking up at her has been put at the base of the image to confirm its identity as an Immaculate Conception. Devotion to the Virgin of Ocotlan is concentrated around the various processions that take place several times during the year. The statue leaves its niche over the altar on 3 fixed dates, New Year's Day and the first and third Mondays in May. The Monday processions are referred to as the Bajada, Descent, and the Subida, Ascent, respectively. The Shrine of the Virgin of Ocotlan is now a parish church. It is located on a hill overlooking the city. From the Zocalo go 2 blocks north on Independencia to Garidi e Alcacer. Turn right and when the road forks, take the left fork uphill to the church. Virgin of Ocotlan, Our Lady of Ocotlan. The Virgin of Ocotlan is a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary in Ocotlan, Tlaxcala, Mexico. The Virgin of Ocotlan is the patron saint of Tlaxcala and the neighboring state of Puebla. She was granted a decree of canonical coronation by Pope Pius X on 18 January 1909 and was crowned via Archbishop Eulogio Gilo y Zavalza on 31 July 1909. In late spring of 1541, a young native Tlaxcalan man named Juan Diego, sometimes given as Juan Diego Bernardino, was going to draw water from a river believed at the time to have healing properties. Juan Diego was a convert to Catholicism who was known for his piety and was a topple, altar server, at the Franciscan monastery. There was an epidemic in the region and he wanted to bring the water home to his family, who were sick. As he came to a hilltop, he encountered a beautiful lady who asked him, "God bless you, my son, where are you going?" Juan Diego explained that he was going to bring medicinal water to the sick. The lady responded, "Follow me closely. I will give you another water with which you will extinguish the contagion and cure not only your family but all who drink of it, for my heart is always inclined toward the lowly and will not suffer to see such things without remedying them." The woman led Juan Diego down the steep hill as night began to fall. At the bottom was a pine grove with a spring of water, that still exists today. The lady told Juan Diego that whoever drank the smallest drop would be restored to perfect health. She then told him that he would find an image of her in the pine grove where they were standing, a true portrait of her perfections and clemencies, and that he should advise the Franciscan fathers to place it in the church of St. Lawrence that stood on top of the hill. Juan Diego took water from the spring and hastened off to cure the sick. Later he went to the Franciscan monastery to tell the friars of his experience. The friars observed the expression on Juan Diego's face as he told the story and believed him, possibly also because he was a regular altar server there. That evening they followed him back to the pine grove. In the light of the sunset, the trees seemed to burn without being consumed. One tree was particularly fat, so they opened it up with a hatchet and found the statue of Mary as Juan Diego had said they would. They prepared a litter from tree branches and flowers and lifted the statue up onto their shoulders to carry it to the Church of St. Lawrence. The little well of holy and healing waters, El Pasito, is also well known. It is located about 400 meters from the Ocotlan sanctuary, so it is easy to get there on foot. In that place people can go to drink water, which according to believers, has a healing power. The first work that was carried out there was a retaining wall at the end of the 17th century, which later collapsed, as well as a square-plan chapel that was built between 1892 and 1896. There is currently a chapel whose construction dates from the first years of this century and that still preserves its old arch located at the entrance. In it are a canvas by Isaro G. Cervantes from 1913 and murals developed by Desiderio Hernández de Chichiotzen and Pedro Avelino Conde narrate biblical episodes related to the water of the place. In the surroundings you can get the traditional red ducks where it is customary to bring water from the well. Feast Day, 3rd Monday of May. As a tradition, year after year the great celebration of the Virgin of Ocotlan is held on the 3rd Monday of May, with the procession of La Bajada of the Virgin to the city of Tlaxcala. The streets of the Tlaxcalan capital are decorated with flowers, paper, festoons, and long rugs of flowers and colored sawdust. Church visiting time. Every days, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Contact info. Basilica of Our Lady of Ocotlan. Private Delent, Ocotlan, 90,100. Tlaxcala de Xcotencatl, Tlax, Mexico. How to reach the Basilica. Puebla International Airport in Puebla, Mexico is the nearby airport to the Basilica. Terminal Puebla Tren Turístico train station in Puebla, Mexico is the nearby train station to the Basilica. If you wish to know more about Catholic shrine basilicas, Marian shrines and Marian apparitions, subscribe to our Catholic Shrine Basilica YouTube channel. Like and share with your loved ones. For more churches website www.catholicshrinebasilica.com.